Hello everyone, Zach here, aka ZeroEmpires, and I have a Castle Blood Automatic 4 vs 4. Currently spectating the red player Tenchi, Tenchi with a 3 for an E. And this guy's actually the creator of this map. He contacted me yesterday on Voobly and said, hey, look, I've got some good Castle Blood Automatic videos for you to see. And I thought, oh, brilliant, I'll watch some of them. Yeah, and also, if you've got any questions about making a custom scenario map, I will, if you want to, I'll try and get him to do a question and answer session. Okay, so in this video, I'm really going to be talking about the importance of teamwork. But before I do that, I'm just going to introduce the players. So the red player playing as Teutons is Tenchi. The blue player playing as Mayans. The yellow player is playing as Chinese, and the purple player is playing as Franks, and they're in Team 1. Team 2, however, is the green player playing as Saracens, teal player as Celts, grey player as as Persians, and the orange player as Mongol. Now, you would think that these teams are very imbalanced, and I would too. You've got 3 ground-based units and an archer-based unit, melee-based unit and an archer-based unit against 3 archer units and 1 melee unit. So, especially with the war elephants, it's going to make it quite hard for Tenchi's team. Saracens, elite Mamelukes, and the Persian war elephant have often been described as overpowered, and we'll soon see. So what's going on here is that Tenchi's weakened this middle gate so that the blue player playing as Mayans can raise it. Now, in Castle Blood Automatic, when you get a raising, you get a villager, or 2 villagers rather. Now, depending on which civilization you are, depends on how many raisings you need. And using teamwork there, Tenchi was able to weaken that gate enough so that the blue player could get 2 villagers. And he's doing the same with this gate here. And why is that important? Well, because the Teutonic Knights are extremely strong against buildings. They have to get something like 3 or 4 raisings in order to get a villager. Whereas the Mayan player and the Chinese player, well, the Mayan only needs 1 raising and the Chinese player only needs 2. And we've got a hell of a bloodbath going on here. But anyway, as you can see, if we look over here, the blue player has now actually got 2 villagers, and that puts them slightly ahead. So now we've got the massive battle going on here, and this is what it's usually like in a Castle Blood Automatic game, especially when there's 4 players. A hell of a lot of fighting, a hell of a lot of blood, and jar. Okay, so the war elephants here have to really be dealt with by Tenchi, and he has to, because he's so good at melee and he's got quite a good melee attack armor, he really needs to deal with these elephants because these archers do not stand a chance against such a high-powered unit. So really, Tenchi needs to get in there and protect the archer units. And by doing that, he's basically throwing away his units so that his teammates can weaken the gates and also cut through the units at the back, such as the Mamelukes. Mamelukes are quite a strong unit as well, especially against cavalry. Okay, so now we're lucky enough that, well, they're lucky enough that blue has managed to get 2 villagers, and now blue needs to start to wall off red, because red is unable to, well, Tenchi is unable to get any villagers at the moment because he still needs 3 or 4 raisings to do so. So he needs to block off this area here by killing off these road raiders. Again, they are not too much of an issue for the Teutonic Knights. Teutonic Knights not so good against pierce attacks such as from archers like the Mangidai. However, they can be picked off quite nicely by the plumed archer. Okay, so what do we have going on over here? Oh, we have the purple player, picking off this gate here. He needs 2 raisings to get a villager, but he's about to get 1 there. And anyway, onto the importance of teamwork. Now, a lot of games, especially Castle Blood, and as you have seen before when I've talked about teamwork on the random map games, teamwork is extremely important because if you can, if you can coordinate your team to do the best job that they can, then you're much more able to win. Now Tenchi is doing a lot of work here by putting his knights right into the mix to try and take out these melee units. And he needs his teammates to move forward because it looks like they're going to take out the Saracen player first. The reason they're probably doing that is because the Saracen player is closest to everyone. It's easy for everyone to get down here. And also this teamwork here where the blue players managed to get his villager round to Tenchi's base to wall this area off. And he's done that by bringing it in a push from this direction to secure this little area here. And then Svivit, the blue player, is able to send his villager over to Tenchi's base, build this wall here, which is an extra layer of protection, as you can't afford to lose your castles in a Castle Blood automatic game. So, as this bloodbath goes on, that's another thing about Age of Empires. Don't you think it's just great, this sort of bloody mess on the floor? I mean, look at the animations of the dying Mamelukes there. The way they just fall over and melt into the ground. I think it's great. That might sound a bit weird, but yeah. Okay, so now they're trying to push slightly into this base here. They need to get another raising for yellow to get a villager. Or 2 villagers, rather. Purple with a little bit of a problem here. The Mankidai is quite strong against the Throwing Axemen, and the Throwing Axemen are probably going to get cut down fairly easily if they turn on them. However, it doesn't look like he's doing that just yet. Yes, he is now. Try and take out his units, but they're not going to last too long. So now we have yellow and blue moving right up to this gate to try and get this another raising here. Looks like Taff, the yellow player, is going to get this raising. Tenchi once again weakening that gate there, heading off the war elephants. And there we go, he's just got that raising and 2 villagers there for Taff. Of course, once they've got their villagers out, they're able to build archery ranges, stables, barracks, and siege workshops. Right, now we have an attack coming in from teal into red, and the Woad Raider isn't amazing. They don't stand up much in melee combat. However, they are able to weaken buildings fairly quickly if they are left there for too long. They don't have great pierce or melee armor, however. Okay, so now blue, yellow and red are trying to move into the Saracen base of green and bringing the archers in for cover, as Tenchi will no doubt go straight for the castles. Now those archers need to come in for the cover so that these Teutonic Knights, who haven't got amazing pierce armor, can get to the castles and weaken them, as they're pretty good against buildings. Teutonic Knights cut down buildings fairly quickly. Purple now looking for his second raising, he's got it, and actually, my bad, Franks actually need 3 raisings by the looks of it. So really, they are very coordinated, and compared to the other team looks to be extremely far behind right now. And here we have now Tenchi attacking this middle castle here. He can't quite get round to the side because of these elite Mamelukes, and they're able to do some damage there. However, the Teutonic Knight standing up quite nicely, that castle now on half health. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get it down, however, as his knights are being picked off fairly quickly. However, there we go there with a few more Teutonic Knights coming in. However, the elephant's able to get there in time to take out most of these archers. Another push now coming up from teal, and teamwork again there, because Tenchi's obviously spotted this villager out on the front working there, and he's told him to get inside of his walls so that these Woad Raiders cannot pick the villager off. Losing a villager when you only have 1 or 2 is extremely bad. You don't want to be losing villagers. So it was important for him to tell the blue player to get inside of his base as quickly as he could. He's also using his base for the time being to pump out units, and that's a good idea too. Now being pushed back out of green's base. However, they'll no doubt continue to put pressure on this area here. We've got reinforcements coming in from purple. Blue still doing a fine job of holding out for the time being, and Tenchi now coming down with his Teutonic Knights, no doubt to try and take out these war elephants where possible. War elephants are such a strong unit, and it is surprising really they're not banned from this game. However, it's not impossible to beat war elephants. It just takes a lot of guys and a lot of patience. and a lot of coordination as well of your team. As you can see there, the 3 archer civilizations grouping really closely together. And if you play an archer civilization in Castle Blood Automatic, or in any game, Age of Empires game at all really, if you have a large number of archers, put them on stand ground and put them really close together like this. As you can see there, the mine player in blue has really grouped his men so close together. Let's actually see how many guys he's actually got sitting there. Here we go, right down there. Look how many guys. He's got so many guys just sat there, and he's grouping them all together. And the reason he's doing that is because if archers come up against melee units, they're not strong against melee units. So if they reduce the amount of surface area that they have, and they do that by grouping really close together, such as these Chukonus here, you can actually prevent the melee units from attacking so many of your men at one time. That makes sense? Hopefully it makes sense. It's a good tactic to use, especially if against melee units. It doesn't work, however, if you're against long-ranged units. And now another push coming in.